every single day. Get better. Put your head down, grind in the darkness, and then when the light comes, rise, fam. You got this. Keep going.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Nux Trades back with another video today. Today is February 20th, Tuesday, and we're going to be covering today's price action and some of the best entries that I saw today and what entries I actually took. And all of this is going to be based on ES. And just to start off, this is not financial advice. Make sure you give me a follow on all socials at Nux Trades. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Yeah, but we'll kind of just jump right into it. So here at Open, what I was saying was that we have some nice accumulation basically all through here. So accumulation all through here. And then at Open, which is right here, we get a run high. And what do we do here? We um, stop out everything that's above us right here. All of this, right? I mean, this is the highest high right here. We have equal highs here. Um, and what do? We go up, we run those highs, and we end up taking these equal highs and all the other liquidity above us, right? So what am I thinking from here? So from here, I'm thinking that we're going to get the distribution leg. We're going to find something that makes me think that we're going to go lower. And I will just draw out the distribution leg that happened right here. And what does this distribution leg do? So this distribution leg, look, stops out all of the cells all through here. So all of those cells get stopped out too with the distribution leg. So perfect AMD right here at the open. Recently, it's been a lot easier to see the AMD at the open. All you need to do is identify some accumulation or consolidation before open. Then look where the run is, aka the Judas swing. Look where that run is on either the high or the lows, and then look for some sort of confirmation that you're heading in the opposite direction. So what that confirmation was for me was here. I'll just get rid of all that now that we've seen it. What that confirmation was for me was that we were blowing through these inversion fair value gaps, right? So we're blowing through all of these, and I'm not capitalizing on this just because this is something that I'm newer to, so I'm still watching as we start. I'm newer to trading 9:30 open, so not something I was willing to actually put risk in yet. But we're closing through all of these fair value gaps, right? And what do? We end up running the low, and we end up going all the way to this low. So that was the first AMD that I saw on ES today. Great AMD example, and I've been going back and back testing 930, and recently it's been looking really great spotting these AMDs. So that's something I'm going to start to investigate more into here soon. Okay, so now I'll move on to a trade that I actually took. So as you can see here, I took this short, and I actually took two trades today, but for some reason it's not showing the other one I took. But took this short here today, and the reason for this short is so if I throw us in reverse here, or in rewind here, and then I drop out to the hourly, what am I seeing right now? So I'm seeing that we're getting this hourly sell side is still intact, right? So we still have this hourly sell side right here, still have this hourly sell side right here. And we're respecting all bearish PD arrays. So no hourly fair value gaps anywhere in this leg. We've already inversed this one. So I'm expecting us to drive down and hit this buy side. So next thing I see us get a little bullish movement from here, right? So I see us kind of pump up, which is weird, right? Because following ICT concepts, we want to rate liquidity and then we want to see a pump up. So I'll kind of just play it and tell you what I'm thinking. So here's what I'm thinking, right? I'm still thinking sell side's below us. Now we have this bullish fair value gap right here. And if price really wants to go higher, we want to see this PD array respected. So we want to see this PD array, this bullish PD array respected, right? And let's just play out what happens. Okay, and then I see this, a close below this. And that gives me a bias that we're going to head to this sell side. Okay, that makes me feel like we don't need to go back up after we've already disrespected or mitigated this fair value gap. So now I'm thinking we're going to sell side. and we play around. We go back up into the inverse and come back up a little bit more, mess around, dance around a little bit more. And I'm still expecting us to poke back through there after this long trade. We'll just go out of replay so we can look and see if we eventually poke through there, which we do, right? Eventually poke through there, which doesn't matter because for me personally, I'm only looking for 5 handles. Didn't need to get to that, and if you wanted to hold a runner to the sell side, probably would have got stop break even right there. But that's all fine and good because after we raid this original low right here, my stop's going to break even anyways. So I took my full position off at 5 handles, which is a target that I go for a lot of times because ICT says 5 handles a day takes it or keeps the 9 to 5 away. So just going for that 5 handles is enough for me, especially with at least on the eval accounts I have because I don't want to mess with that trailing drawdown. So on your live accounts, you can definitely let that run to sell side a little bit. Probably would have been stopped break even on this play, but um, yeah, nonetheless, 5 handles right there. So that was what I saw in terms of a short down to sell side. So then we get this move and we actually do raid all of sell side, right? So we'll drop it to the 5 minute and I'll show you what I'm thinking here. So now we drop out to the 5 minute, right? And my model actually did fail today. My model that I teach on this page, um, it was right here, this model, which I guess my model technically didn't fail, but a version of my model failed because once we put in this swing low right here, I was no longer interested in my entry that was down here because I want to see this swing low protected for us to go higher. So it would make sense for me to have my entry below a swing low um, and want it to be broken for me to enter long. So I didn't take this play, but nonetheless, you can see we still had sell side below us, and what do? Go back for that sell side. So next thing I want to look at is also another reason of why that play actually failed. So if you look, what do we have here? Hourly bearish for value gap right here. And a lot of my trading is based on following hourly structure and looking for entry on 5 minute, on the 5 minute time frame. You'll see me take some 1 minute AMD plays here and there, but most of my trading is 1 hour structure, 1 hour targets, 1 hour PD raise, and then entries on 5 minute. So what happens with my quote unquote model, right? Because again, not my model because swing low created. We want to see that swing low protected. So my entry got canceled right here. No loss there for me. But this area right here, hour for value gap. What do? We come up, hit the hourly for value gap, and go to our sell side target. So really, um, we just were on the wrong side of it because if we're following the hourly, right? I mean, this is our entry. This is the entry we want right here. This short to take us down to this sell side. So just got caught on the wrong side if you took that play today. But still a version of the model right there. I'm not going to say it was a loss because that's not my specific model. But I will show you the next play that I took today. So next play I took, and I'm not sure why it's not showing this, but interesting. Okay, you'll know I took it because I'll have exactly what happened in the market, right? So what happened was actually, you know what it was? I took it on MES. That's why I took it on MES, not ES. That's why it's on here. But what do I see? We have hourly fair value gap right here. Take sell side, wick into the hourly fair value gap. And what happens? After we wick into the hourly fair value gap, just on the edge of it, we come up. I see we have this bearish fair value gap. And what do? We close above it with a bullish fair value gap. Get this bullish fair value gap right here. So I had two different entries here. My first entry was at the close of this candle because we closed above this fair value gap. Second entry was at the fair value gap on this candle. And I rode this up to the most recent high. So right there, and got my exact 5 handle target with a 5 handle stop loss. Rode it up to that, and I wonder if we ended up getting 10 handles. Yeah, so we did end up getting 10 handles. Again, this is technically, not technically, it isn't my inversion and fair value gap model, my Nux entry, because we didn't take the previous session low because the previous session would have been the afternoon, right? So I would have wanted to see this low taken again. But just following hourly structure and looking for 5-minute entries, this would have been a good entry, right? Wick out of a, so we take sell side, wick into a bullish hourly for value gap. And what do? Inversion for value gap right there. And we ride. So something that I would challenge you guys to look into a little bit more is looking at hourly structure and following it on the 5-minute time frame. Okay. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you can see the two things I just did, right? Two plays today that were absolute bangers. Look at this. Hourly structure here. So remember, if we're back on the hourly, I just showed you this hourly bearish for value gap. What happens? Boom. And again, I'm not really looking for a clean market structure shift, right? Because if we drop down on a lower time frame, there's probably a market structure shift somewhere in here. And if there's not, it doesn't really, I mean, there is. It doesn't matter, but there is right here. Look, so what is this right here? What is this? Last low before the high gets put in, right? So we want to see a close below there and then a entry, right? So close below this, market structure shift, and then we get our entry right here. So I'm not really too worried about market structure shifts on the 5-minute because all that's happening on lower time frames. So I mean, we can get a fair value gap on the 5-minute time frame. In order for us to get a valid entry, we would have to close below the 1030 low, and the play would be pretty much over by then. So that's why I'm not too worried about market structure shifts on the 5-minute time frame. I'm really just following it in fair value gaps and inversion fair value gaps, just looking for those things because the market structure shifts to me that stuff's all just it can be at any time frame. Okay, but um, so as you can see, hourly bearish fair value gap, market structure shift on lower time frame, 5-minute entry, and look at this, beautiful 5-handle stop because you know I follow my 5-handle stop rule. You can write it to this low. You can write it to the sell side low, which would have got you 8.5 handles. You could write it all the way down to the fair value you got for the rest of your runners. Okay. Those are the two things, or there's one play today. And then the other one, simple, bro. Simple. Simple stuff, dude. Look, hourly fair value gap in here. Some chop. We get chop, 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 chop all through here. But this is clean. So chop all through here. Chop all through here. What do? Have a little dump lower, and this is fine. My bias is now long because we filled this bullish hourly fair value gap. I'm not looking for anything short, so I'm not taking this play right here. I'm waiting. We close above it. I enter half position on the close above. I see it's created fair value gap here. I enter the rest of my position inside the fair value gap. So right there. And it's simple. And that was the second trade that I took today. I didn't write it for 10 handles. I was all out on 5 right here. But Um, nonetheless, I mean, two great entries right there. I mean, you can find these plays every single day. It's just all about following the hourly structure and structuring your bias around the hourly time frame, and then dropping down to the 5-minute and finding entries. Because it's a lot harder to get faked out on the 5-minute than it is the 1-minute, right? So, on. Sorry, I've been really big into matcha recently. Just made my own matcha and stuff. So if you guys got any good matcha brands, drop them in the comments. I'll look into it. I'm looking to get some new stuff, right? But okay, so I mean, let's look at it here. So I mean, we do have this entry right here, right? So I mean, you're gonna get faked out a lot more on the 1-minute time frame than you are on the 5-minute time frame, right? Because we're seeing fair value ups form a lot more on the 1-minute time frame. So if we go up to, I mean, today is not a great example um, just because we didn't really get any fake outs today. But a lot of times on the 1-minute, you'll see just after we hit this sell side, a bullish fair value gap will form, and then we'll just rip right through it, dump right through it, right? So I mean, like this 1-minute fair value gap right here, like that looks crazy. It looks like a crazy good entry, right? Maybe we close above the last high before the low was put in. Crazy good entry. And what do? Just rip right through it. So that's why if you just drop out, I mean, even the 3-minute, you could look at the 3-minute, right? Even the 3 minute, you're not going to get a ton of fake outs. Like we have this one right here, this right you got, which works. I mean, it does play out. So, I mean, you can use 3 minute, but 5 minute, it's just so much cleaner, right? I mean, look at this price action. Even in this price action, you can win. Like, just wait. It's all about patience. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. But yeah, those are just the plays that I saw today, the plays that I took today. If you guys wanna be keep up to date with more of the stuff that's going on, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. I'm gonna get back to posting this just once, twice a week, just so I can review something for me to use as like a personal journal and stuff. Yeah. But if you like the video, keep tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Safe trading, and until next time, Nux Trades out. Peace.